Hey guys, Andy here from teelaunch again, back with another personalization feature video. In this video, we're going to go over creating a more simple design overlay for your personalized products within the teelaunch app. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. You can see right here we are on the teelaunch dashboard inside of Shopify. So let's go ahead and create a personalized product. And you will notice that we are in a teelaunch testing site, so things might look a little bit different, but for the most part, it should look the same. And right here in the left side, you go to the personalized category. You will see all of the personalized products that we have to offer currently. We plan on adding many, many more because we really believe in the personalized product and we think it will be a very strong seller for our users. Since we created a complex design with the Pronimus wireless charging stand, we're going to do a simple version of that as well. So we'll go ahead and select that. And if you haven't gotten your hands or seen a Pronimus wireless charging stand in person, we highly recommend that you go ahead and try to get yourself a sample of one of those because we're partnered with a lifestyle company called Orange Audio, and they have some really amazing lifestyle products and some little techie type products as well. And this is just a great product, especially for personalization, because it's a little wireless charger that sits on a stand, so when you're not using it to charge your stand, it almost doubles as a picture frame. So it works perfectly for the personalization feature. So we'll just kind of quickly run through what's all on this designer page for you. You have the name of the product, the price, we have a product description, some bullet points where we added upload your image here for the personalized version of it, print specs, shipping costs, a button here to download the template, and then if you also read through over here, there's also a hyperlink to where you can download the template. And we strongly recommend that everybody downloads the templates when they're creating their art files for each product, because the print templates are made to the print specs, and that's what gets sent to the manufacturer when they begin printing on the product. So if you download the template here, we'll go ahead, it's a PDF, so we'll go ahead and download this to our desktop here real quick. And what I'm going to be using is Photoshop, since that's an industry design software standard. It's the industry standard for design software. And what I like to do is I just like to take the PDF and drag it and drop it right into Photoshop. And if you may have noticed, this is kind of the design that we're going to be going for here. It's pretty simple, quick and easy to make, and anybody can do it. And it's going to be this kind of white wood background, kind of called like the farmhouse style, which is very popular. And then we're just going to add a nice little border in here, put some fun little text in here, and it's very simple to do. The first thing I like to do, if they're not already in here, is I like to add guides to my artboard. And what these guides are going to do is they're going to show me where the safe zone is while I'm creating my product. So I might start putting artwork on top of the template and not be able to see what's going on. So I like to put guides in here. And if you've never done guides before, go ahead and go to View, Rulers, and make sure that's checked. And that will bring up these rulers here. And then you just simply click on them, hold down, and drag. And when you have the little crosshairs here, you can move them to wherever you want. And if you want to get rid of them, you just drag them back up to the ruler and let go. So just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, if I were to put something over top of the actual template, I can still see a general idea of where the safe zone is. So I want to know, so I can make sure that I keep my artwork safely within the safe zone. Okay, and then the next step I like to do is I like to create my mask. And what my mask is going to be is that's where I'm going to cut out all of my artwork so I can have a transparent area. And I like to think of it as a picture frame. Everything on the outside of my mask is going to be the artwork for the frame, and then everything inside where I create my mask, that's where the customer is going to slide their image in. And I've got a little rounded rectangle, and the reason for that is the product shape here is a very soft, rounded rectangle type shape. And if I were to create a mask, even though this is still a rounded rectangle, it's quite small, or if I had just a regular rectangle without rounded corners, it would be pretty harsh to put sharp edges on something that's so soft and rounded. So what I like to do is try to make my frame somewhat similar to the shape of the product, just so everything looks cohesive and correct. And I think about 120 was about a good rounded corner here. Yeah, so you can see it's a little bit bigger than our safe zone, but what I like to also do is, we'll label this mask. What I also like to do is I like to scale my mask area in a little bit more, just so I can have a little bit extra area for my actual design. And I'm just going to scale these so the top and bottom are very similar to size as the edges, just so the shape is consistent. It doesn't have to be perfect or exact or anything, but that looks pretty close. So now that we have our mask, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to take that wood background, which you can basically find anywhere. This is where I found one on a stock photo site. You can find them on Google. Let's go ahead and drag this into Photoshop. So it's going to be in its own layer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock that layer, and I'm just going to drag it into the artboard that we're working in. And I want the wood here to be going horizontally. And then I'm just going to scale it down. And I'm using a Mac, so if I use any sort of shortcuts, I'll be explaining them through the Mac way. And when you scale an object, the new version, if you just click Option when you're scaling, it'll pull from all four corners and scale everything nice and cohesively. So that looks pretty good, so we'll just go ahead and leave that, and then we'll put this down here. We'll hide the mask layer for now. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to create the mask, because this is a very quick and simple design. So what I'm going to do is hold Command on my keyboard, click the mask thumbnail, and what it does is it brings up a selection here. Now if I were to go ahead and mask that right now, it would mask everything except the selected area, and that's not what we want. We actually want this area to get selected out. So we're going to undo that, and while this is still selected, we're just going to go up to Select, Inverse, and now what it's doing is selecting everything outside of that, and then this is going to get trimmed out when we go ahead and go to Mask. So we'll go ahead and go to Mask, title this background so it's easy to follow. And now you can see that the template is showing through, and that's exactly what we want. So when we hide this, you'll see this gray and white checkerboard pattern, and what that means is that means transparency, and we want transparency when we're creating design overlays for the personalized product. You have to upload a transparent PNG for the personalized products to work, and the reason for that is if this area is transparent, that allows for the customer's image to slide right in behind here, and then they can scale it to fit with inside here. If that's not transparent, the customer would upload an image behind here, but they wouldn't be able to see it, so it kind of defeats the purpose of having a personalized product. And the next step that I like to do is actually like to go to a website called Unsplash. So unsplash.com, and this is an excellent website that we highly recommend everybody at least play around with and get familiar with, because what this site is photographers from all over the world are kind enough to upload their images that they have created, and you and the general public are allowed to use these images for free for whatever purposes you see fit. And what we're going to do is we're going to search for mother and child. And I already have an image saved, but I'm just going to kind of show you the quick process here. So let's just say this is a nice image. If I wanted to download this, I'd go ahead and press this little button right here, and that would download it. But since I already have a couple images, I'll just kind of show you what those look like. So we've got this mother and son image, and we also have a black and white mother and daughter image, and we're going to actually select both of them and drop them into Photoshop. Okay. We're going to move these down here, and these are basically going to be test images, so we can kind of see what a customer might potentially use when selecting this particular style of design overlay. So that looks pretty good. I mean, they're a little cut off, but you got them nice and large right there. And then here's the other one. Go ahead and scale that up as well. And that also looks pretty good. And then the next thing that we're going to do is I've found a nice little saying off of Pinterest when I typed in farmhouse quotes, because I'm going off of a farmhouse type of design. I found enjoy the little things, and that's what gave me the idea of maybe trying to target mother and their child. So I'm just going to drag that text in here, and you can obviously use whatever type of fonts you'd like to use. And then I like to just use a basic simple white text for a couple reasons, just to kind of show you a few things. So that looks good. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add just a slight little border just to kind of enhance it. So I'm going to duplicate my mask layer. So just Command J if you want to duplicate on a mask. And since that's our shape and I want to add a nice little border, I'll go back over to the shape here, and I don't want a fill color, I actually want a stroke color. So I'm going to put black as a stroke color, and I'm going to make it 15 pixels so it's a little bit chunkier of a border. And as you can see, that's kind of harsh, so what I want to do is I want to lower the opacity to 25% just to have a nice faint little border to kind of bring your eye line in a little bit, and then it's 25% opacity so you can still see what's behind here, and that's just kind of a nice little subtle trick that you can do to your design elements to interact a little bit with the image that your customer is going to be uploading. Okay, and then now that you'll see here, we've just got simple white text, and the one thing that people tend to really like to do is they like to add drop shadows to their text. And we're just going to put this as normal. And oftentimes people make some pretty harsh shadows like that, and with sublimation process, shadows tend to bleed a little bit, or any sort of gradients. So what I would recommend you do is bring everything all the way in as tight as possible, and you can just kind of move it slightly and just make it subtle. You don't want it to be too crazy, and that's one way to do it. You can go ahead and do okay with that, but we're going to cancel and show you another way real quick. So what I'm going to do is Command J on this layer with the text, and what that does is that duplicates it, and I'm going to bring it down below, and I'm going to hide this layer. So I'm going to select the text, and I'm actually just going to change the color of it to black. Now that I bring up the text above it, I can select the layer below and just use my little arrow keypad and couple down, couple to the right, and there you have a tight shadow just to really help that text stand out. But in this video, I'm actually not going to have any sort of shadow on there just because I want to show you an example of process that it's not 100% necessary, but I really think it's important. So what we're going to do with this design saved in here, or in here still, we're going to go ahead and save it with that. So save as, and again, this is not a process that you have to do, but we do recommend just giving it a shot because it's actually a very quick process, but it will definitely help enhance what your images look like on your store. So we're going to go ahead and save as, I've already saved it, but farmhouse Pronimus, the product, and then store image.png. It's got to be a PNG because it's got to be accepted by the teelaunch app. So since I've already saved it, I'm just going to cancel it. And we're going to go into the app here real quick, and we're going to upload that image that we just made. So this is what it looks like. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to be creating an extra image to add to our store just to really drive the point home that this is what the final product would look like, but imagine your image in here. So we're going to go ahead and upload this file. It should load fairly quickly because it's pretty small. Everything looks correct because we used our print template. And we're not going to actually worry about titling or adding our pricing just yet, and we're not actually going to publish any of this to our store. All we're going to do is utilize the high-resolution mock-up images that teelaunch provides for you. So all of these images are going to be available to use for however you see fit for all of your marketing materials or whatnot. and they're going to be high resolution 2000 by 2000 pixel images. So they're large images that you can use. So you could either use this one or you could go ahead and use this one here. I recommend using the first one just because you get a clear, concise view of everything. The text here might be a little bit tricky for someone to read. They might have to tilt their head to read that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this one and I'm just going to drag it into Photoshop. You can also save it to your desktop and then open it in Photoshop. Now this is a 2000 by 2000 pixel artboard now. So if I go ahead and select this, it's all cut out, so you can add your own custom shadows. You can go ahead and add it to a lifestyle shot if you'd like to, but we're just going to do something really quick and simple. Just a simple clean white background, and like I said, I've already created this. So all we're going to do is place your image here in the arrow just to really drive the point home that this could be the image. This, like if you have an image like this might be the perfect frame for you. So we've already saved that. So we're just going to go back here, and if you want to see what the other style kind of looks like in here, you can certainly do that. But now we're going to actually save our actual print file and the file that we are going to publish to our store. So I made sure that I hid those layers and everything that's not a part of the design. You can go ahead and delete them if you want to. You can just hide them if you want. But the important thing is there's transparency in here, and then our text is going to sit on top of the transparency. But there's got to be transparency, otherwise your customer's image is not going to show through. So we'll file, save as, simple, and then we're going to just save this as farmhouse pronymous PNG. And like I said, I've already saved it, so we'll just back out of that. And now we'll just quickly go back to design. Clear this image out and simply upload the image that we just made, and this one's going to have the transparency, and then you'll see the text right here. So we'll go ahead and upload that. And another reason why we created the image with the sample photograph behind there is, as you can see here, the text is kind of hard to read. So when we actually get done processing this and creating our mock-up images, customer might not even actually see that when they're uploading their design. So it's nice to have a sample image in there that really shows everything that's going on with the design that you created. And you can see here we have a pattern of Polaroid images that say your image here. And what that means is that's showing your customer, hey, this is where your image can go. And what it means to you and us is that's where transparency is. So if you don't see that pattern when you upload your artwork, odds are you saved a PNG that does not have transparency, or you have some opacity changes that need to be tweaked and allow for you to see this pattern. But as you can see, we're all well within our safe zone. We have got a faint little green line here, and then we filled the bleed area, the red bleed area there, because we downloaded the template and just worked right within the template. So everything looks good. Review and publish. And we're going to call this the Farmhouse Personalized Wireless Charging Stand. And what I recommend is you put personalized or customized or some sort of terminology similar to that in your title, just to really help your customers know that, hey, this is a product that they can personalize. You can go ahead and change any of this if you'd like to. If you'd like to say Whitewood farmhouse design, enjoy the little things, like play off of the text that you add in there. You can certainly change those things. We got pricing in here, and just to kind of show you, you can't really see the text right here, which is kind of a downfall of just having simple white text. If we had the drop shadow or the black behind it to enhance that white text, it might be a little bit easier to read, but it's still a good idea to create a test image like we did with the Your Image Here one. So let's go ahead and publish this. Again, it's not a necessary step to create the design with a test image in there, but as you can see, it went so fast and so smooth that it's really worthwhile to take the time to introduce that into your workflow. So let's go ahead and go back to the back end of Shopify, and We can see that we've got our 4 mock-up images that we created. We've got our price correct, and everything looks good. So I'm just going to show you real quick on the back end what it looks like without that other image, and really drive the point home why I think that it's a good idea to have that. So the customer might not see this right here. So we'll just go back, add images, and we created this image, so we're just going to add this one. And it should show up right here, and then we'll drag it to the front, and then there will be one more step after that. So we've gone ahead and changed the order, but in order for this to take place, for this image to show up first, is we have to go ahead and select the variant, the actions, update images, and then we just go ahead and save, and then it's going to tell us that we updated the order of our images. So now when we go back to our store, now this is what your customers are going to see. So now they get to see this mock-up image, maybe get a general sense of, okay, that's a cute image. That I've got an image like that in my phone that would work perfectly for this product. So you can see the text, enjoy the little things, and everything looks good. So now I'm just going to show you quickly what it's going to look like from a customer's perspective. So the customer is going to go ahead and click Personalize. They're going to get to see the design overlay right here, and they're going to do Upload Image. And since we didn't use this one, let's go ahead and just use that as an example. And the beautiful thing about this is they get to make adjustments and see how everything works in real time. They can scale up, they can scale down, they can shift to the right, up, down, left. And you can see here we've got a nice little bounding box around our product, and what that's going to do is that's going to just show us how much more of the image we have to work with if we're moving things around. So it's just a nice little feature. Make it a little bit bigger and shift it over just a little bit and up some. Okay, so now a customer got to move it around and position the product, the image that they uploaded exactly where they want to. They get to see in real time what it looks like. So now we just go ahead and add to cart. Just simple, smooth, quick and easy. They get to see exactly how their design is going to look. And then once this is in our cart here, we also generate a little thumbnail image right here of the product, so your customer gets to see exactly what the product's going to look like. They don't have to upload an image and just cross their fingers and hope, hey, I hope this turns out well, or they don't get a message from us saying, hey, your design's in good hands, we're going to do the best thing possible. They get to see exactly what it looks like. This is what they wanted. This is how they positioned it. And they're going to get the product that they ordered. So that's a really nice part of the personalization feature that I really think most customers are really going to appreciate. So there you have it. That's how you create a simple design overlay for the new teelaunch personalization feature. Again, we're going to have another video that shows a little bit more complex of a design, just to kind of cover our bases and show everybody multiple ways of doing it. But this is the simple, quick and easy way to utilize the personalization feature, and we really hope that you guys take advantage of this, because we strongly believe that the personalization feature is going to be the future of print on demand. So we hope you enjoyed the feature video, and hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.